My brother demanded to propose at my wedding. Grandma said, he's older. He should go first. I refused. His entire meltdown ended up online for the world to laugh at. Hey Reddit. So my brother tried to hijack my wedding to propose to his girlfriend. My family acted like I was the villain for saying no. Grab some popcorn because this one gets wild. I'm Lucas, 27, decent job, small house I bought 2 years ago. I like things quiet, organized, predictable. My fiancée Jessica's the same way. Low drama, smart with money, and she's been dreaming about a spring wedding since she was a teenager. We split wedding stuff right down the middle. She picks flowers, colors, food. I handle the boring stuff. Contracts, security, schedules. The one problem? My family. I've got an older brother, Ryan, 30. My parents and grandma have treated him like he's some chosen one since we were kids. He screws up. They call it finding himself. I work 2 jobs through college. They call it what you're supposed to do. 3 quick examples so you get it. Age 10. Ryan throws a football inside, smashes grandma's stained glass lamp. He cries, points at me, says I did it. She believes him, smacks me, calls me reckless. He gets ice cream that night. Age 16. He gets handed the keys to a used Honda. I get told be responsible while waiting for the bus in the rain. College. They take a second mortgage so Ryan can party through his first 2 years at State before switching to online classes. I work nights stocking shelves, take loans, pay them off myself. Fast forward to now. Ryan lives with my parents, pays them almost nothing, and they act like I should be grateful he calls once in a while. I've been sending mom and dad $500 a month to help with that second mortgage, because they're drowning in it. Ryan knows this. Never offered a dime. Last Saturday, I get a text from mom. Can you come for dinner tonight? We need to talk. It's important. Nothing else. I figure maybe dad's health or money stuff. I show up at 6. Ryan's already there, sitting at the table like he owns the place. Mom and dad on one side, him on the other. They wait till I sit before saying anything. Mom starts with, so, Ryan has something he wants to ask. Ryan leans back like he's about to bless us with wisdom. I want to propose to Ashley at your wedding. It's the perfect moment. Whole family's there. Nice setup, everyone watching. Big surprise. I look at him, then at mom and dad, then back at him. No, I say. Calm, simple. He frowns. Why not? Because it's my wedding, not your engagement party. Mom cuts in. We just think it would be sweet. 2 celebrations in one. I take out my phone, set it on the table, hit record. This way, nobody pretends later they didn't hear what I'm about to say. Ryan rolls his eyes. You're being dramatic. I lean forward. Try it, and you're uninvited. That's not a threat. That's me telling you the rules up front. Dad sighs. Come on, Lucas. Don't make this bigger than it needs to be. It's not big at all, I say. It's simple. My wedding is not his stage. If he wants to propose, he can plan his own day, his own money, his own guest list. Ryan throws his hands up. It's just one little moment. Why do you always act like you're better than me? I stare at him. I send them $500 every month because you bled them dry in college. You pay $300 in rent here. No utilities, no groceries, and you want my wedding too? Number. That lands. He shuts up for a second. Mom tries again. But Ashley might leave him soon. This could save the relationship. I actually laugh at that. If the only thing keeping her is a public stunt at someone else's wedding, maybe she should leave. Ryan glares. Dad shifts uncomfortably. Then mom grabs her phone, calls grandma on speaker. Grandma picks up, they explain, and she goes right to her classic line. He's older. He should go first. There it is. The family motto. Doesn't matter who works harder, pays bills, acts like an adult. Ryan's older, so life owes him priority seating apparently. I pack my stuff, stand up. Glad we cleared this up. Try it and you're out. That includes you, Grandma, if you keep pushing. Ryan mutters, you can't be serious. Dead serious, I say, heading for the door. Also, the 500 stops if this keeps up. I'll put it in writing Monday. Mom gasps like I shot someone. Dad just rubs his forehead. I leave. That night, I text Jessica the bullet points. Ryan wants to hijack wedding. I said no. Grandma pulled the he's older card. 500 ends if they push again. She texts back, proud of you. About time someone said it. Next morning, 9 a.m., doorbell rings. Ryan, red in the face, fists balled up. You ruined my chance, he snaps the second I open the door. Ashley's gonna leave me now, and it's your fault. I just look at him, calm as ever. Not my problem, I say. My wedding's not your Hail Mary pass. His face goes purple. This was only the beginning. Shafua! He stood there on my porch, looking like he was about to pop, muttered something, then stomped off to his car and peeled down the street. I watched him go, shaking my head. That was when it hit me. He wasn't going to stop. He actually thought this was still happening. The fake hurt act, the family guilt trips, all of it. He thought if he pushed hard enough, I'd cave, which meant it was time to lock this down so tight he couldn't wiggle through a crack. First thing I did was email every single vendor. DJ, venue coordinator, photographer, caterer. Same message to all of them. This is Lucas, groom for April 14th. No schedule changes, no surprise music, no speeches, no mic handoffs unless I or Jessica authorize with this password. Pineapple 47. No password, no change. Period. The DJ responded first. Got it. And just so you know, someone already emailed me asking about a special song for a proposal. Said it was cleared by you. I stared at the screen and actually laughed. It had been less than a day since the fight at my parents' house, and Ryan was already trying to sneak his plan in through the DJ like I wouldn't find out. I hit reply all. Not authorized. Do not comply. Ignore future requests unless the password is given. That person is not part of planning. Next morning, the venue manager called me. She said, "Hey, we got a printed letter dropped off here saying you changed your mind about a proposal happening mid-reception." Looked off, honestly. I asked her to read it to me. She did. It was way too formal, like someone Googled official wedding permission letter and filled in the blanks. At the bottom it said, "Witnessed by Evelyn," Grandma's name. Of course it did. I told the manager the real letters from me had a watermark with our wedding date. This one didn't. She scanned it for the file before shredding it. While that was happening, I typed up a simple one-page notice for Mom and Dad. Payment stopped this month. Reason: the constant pressure about Ryan's proposal after I said no. I attached a list of every payment I've sent them since 2021 with dates and amounts. No emotion, just numbers. That night I emailed it to them and left a printed copy on their fridge. Mom texted a few minutes later. "We didn't want to upset you. We just want Ryan happy." I texted back, "Happiness isn't free. Neither is respect." Then I opened the groomsmen group chat and typed this. "If anyone tries to grab a mic or stop the music for a stunt proposal, say the word raccoon to security. They'll handle it. No debate." One of them wrote back, "Finally, some entertainment value. What's the over-under on him lasting 30 seconds? Later that night, Grandma called. No hello, no small talk. She just went straight to it. "I don't understand why you can't let him have this one thing." I told her, "It's my wedding, not a talent show. He can propose literally any other day of the year." She huffed into the phone. "He just needs support right now." "Support isn't free either," I said. "Ask him about rent. Ask him about groceries. Ask him about the car insurance he doesn't pay." "He's 30, Grandma. 30. She hung up on me. Jessica got home from work and read through everything. She just shook her head. "I knew your family was messy," she said, "but this is next level. You sure you don't want to just uninvite him now?" "Not yet," I said. "Let's see how deep a hole he can dig first." Thursday night, Mom texted me. "Ryan says he wants to come to the walkthrough to smooth things over." I replied, "He can come if he behaves. One stunt and he's out for good." I screenshot that, sent it to Dad, the coordinator, and security. Everyone was on the same page. By Friday afternoon, the photographer forwarded me another email. Ryan again, asking if they could get some special candid shots ready for the big moment. I replied myself, "The big moment is my wedding. No other moments exist. Ignore further requests." So by the time the walkthrough rolled around, every vendor knew the rules. Security knew the code word. Payments were cut off. Grandma was furious. Jess and I got there first. Guests were arriving. Music was playing low. Everything was running smooth. I was talking to the DJ about timing when Ryan strolled in like he owned the place. Big smile, loud hellos, shaking hands like a politician. He spotted me across the room and started toward me with this fake friendly grin. I could already tell by the look on his face he wasn't here to smooth things over. He didn't even wait 5 minutes before trying to pull Jess aside. "Hey, Jessica," he said. "Mind if I borrow you for a second?" Jess gave him the kind of look you give a telemarketer at the door and said, "No, actually, I do mind. I'm busy." Ryan laughed it off, but his eyes flicked toward me. He knew I was watching. 5 minutes later, while the coordinator was going over the schedule, Ryan started walking toward the mic stand near the corner. He thought he was sneaky. He wasn't. I said one word to the nearest staff member. "Raccoon." The guy nodded and moved fast. Before Ryan even got his hand on the mic, security was there. 2 of them, one on each side. No rough stuff, no yelling, just a calm, firm escort toward the door. Ryan started sputtering. I was just gonna say a few words. "Not tonight, sir," one of the security guys said, like he was reading it off a script. "This way, please." Everybody in the room saw it. Dead quiet except for Ryan arguing all the way to the door, then getting shut outside mid-sentence. The coordinator looked at me. I shrugged. The walkthrough stays on schedule, I said. Best part? Nobody even followed him out. After walkthrough, Mom cornered me in the parking lot. Did you have to embarrass him like that? She hissed. Embarrass him? I said. He tried to hijack the walkthrough after I told him not to. That was him embarrassing himself. He just wanted to... Don't, I said, cutting her off. Do not start with the excuses. He's 30 years old. He knew the rules. He broke them. That's on him. She didn't have much to say after that. The next morning, things got worse for Ryan and Grandma. Mom called, voice tight. Do you have our old Ring camera footage saved? The one from the hallway? I said I did. I'd saved a backup when I set it up for them. She told me her jewelry box was missing an heirloom ring, her grandmother's. Guess where it turned up? Grandma had given it to Ryan for his big moment. She admitted it when Mom confronted her. Claimed she was helping him steal, apparently. I pulled up the ring footage that night. There was Grandma, plain as day, taking the little box out of Mom's dresser, handing it to Ryan in the driveway like they were smuggling diamonds. I brought my laptop to Mom and Dad's place and played it for everyone. Ryan, Grandma, Mom, Dad, Jess, me. Whole room dead quiet except for the sound of Grandma's voice on the video saying, she won't even notice it's gone. When the clip ended, Ryan started stammering about how he was going to give it back. He just needed it for the proposal. Grandma tried to talk over him about how Mom didn't wear it anymore anyway. Mom looked furious. She held out her hand. Give me the ring. Ryan tried one last time. But if I could just... Now, Mom snapped. He handed it over. Dad looked at Ryan, then at Grandma. Both of you need to stop acting like this is your house, your money, your rules. Lucas helps us more than you ever have, and you steal from your own mother? This ends today. Ryan started with the excuses. Dad cut him off. From now on, you pay rent. Real rent. Plus utilities, plus food. $300 a month isn't cutting it anymore. You don't like it? Move out. Ryan blinked like Dad had just spoken another language. I don't make that much, he mumbled. You make plenty, Dad said. You just don't pay for anything. Grandma piped up about how unfair this all was. Dad turned on her too. And you. You've spent 30 years playing favorites and bailing him out. Look where it's got him. Look where it's got you. She shut up after that. Ryan moved out 2 days later. Packed his stuff, headed straight to Grandma's place because of course she offered to take him in. Mom and Dad didn't fight it. Dad told him, you want to live there, fine. But our help stops here. No more money, no more excuses. Ryan acted like the victim the whole time he was packing, muttering about how everyone hated him now, because I turned them all against him. I didn't even bother arguing. He could believe whatever he wanted. What actually happened was simple. He finally ran out of people willing to clean up his messes. It was still a week and a half before the wedding. This was just an early walkthrough we'd scheduled well ahead of time. The next day, I got a call from my mom saying Grandma wanted to have a discussion at her house on Sunday. I already knew what that meant. She was bringing backup. Sure enough, I showed up, and there's Grandma, 2 aunts I hadn't seen in months, and the pastor from her church all sitting in the living room, like it was some intervention. The second I walked in, Grandma launched right into it. Lucas, everyone here thinks you should let Ryan have this chance. It would bring everyone together. I sat down, calm as ever. You invited me here to vote on my own wedding? One aunt started talking about forgiveness. The other said Ryan was struggling, and this might save his relationship. The pastor said something about grace and family unity. I didn't raise my voice. I just took out my phone, opened the video of Grandma handing Ryan the stolen ring, and hit play. The whole room watched her on screen, giving Ryan the jewelry box from Mom's dresser, saying she'd put it back before anyone noticed. The silence afterward was glorious. I looked at the pastor. That's your struggling man right there, stealing heirlooms so he can stage a stunt at my wedding. You still think that's unity? The pastor didn't say a word. Neither did the aunts. Grandma tried to recover, mumbling about how Mom never wore the ring anyway. I cut her off. Not your call. Not his either. I stood up, grabbed my jacket. If anyone here tries to pressure me again about this, you're not coming either. That includes you, Grandma. Nobody stopped me when I left. That night my dad called. He actually apologized. Said he and Mom finally realized how bad the favoritism had been all these years. He admitted the second mortgage for Ryan's college was a mistake. Letting him live rent-free into his 30s was a mistake. And ignoring everything I did to help them financially was a mistake. We should have never let your grandma run the show, he said. I told him it wasn't about apologies. It was about action. He said that's why he told Ryan he had 1 month to start paying real rent and utilities at Grandma's or find his own place. No more handouts. I wasn't sure I believed him yet, but it was the first time in my life I'd heard him draw a line with Ryan. Jessica got home from work, and I told her about the ambush at Grandma's. "Your family is insane," she said. "Tell me something I don't know. Does this mean they're finally going to leave us alone?" "Not a chance," I said. "But at least now Dad's pretending to grow a spine." She smirked. Better late than never. 2 days later, Mom called again. Ryan had asked if he could still come to the wedding as long as he behaved. I said the same thing I told them before. He shows up, he sits down, he keeps his mouth shut. One stunt, he's out on the spot. Mom didn't argue this time. She just said, "Okay, we understand." Maybe she finally did. By midweek, everyone reconfirmed. Password only changes. AV whitelist. Security briefed. A couple days later, the wedding was in 2 days. The wedding day came fast. We were up early, Jessica with her bridesmaids, me with my groomsmen. The venue looked perfect. Spring flowers everywhere, clear skies, tables set, music playing low. It felt calm, the way we wanted it. I'd already been over everything with the coordinator and security team. Guest list at the gate on tablets. Names highlighted green if confirmed, red if revoked. Grandma and Ryan? Both green, for now. One stunt and that flipped to red forever. The first guests started arriving around noon. Everyone got checked in by name and ID. No invite, no entry. Paper invites alone didn't count if you were on the revoked list. That was part of the contract now. I saw Grandma arrive in her usual Sunday best. Hair curled tight, heels clicking on the pavement. She had her paper invite clutched in her hand like it was a VIP pass. At the gate, staff scanned the list, nodded, waved her through. She gave me this smug smile like she was queen of the day. Ryan showed up 20 minutes later, wearing a suit that looked like it still had the store tags on it. He walked in like he was auditioning for a commercial, waving at people, slapping backs, hugging cousins he hadn't spoken to in years. I just watched. Didn't say a word. Ceremony started on time. Music, flowers, guests seated. Jessica came down the aisle looking like everything I'd waited for in life, and for once the whole family circus faded out of my head. We said our vows, exchanged rings, kissed. Applause, smiles, people dabbing their eyes. For 30 solid minutes, everything was exactly how it should be. Then we moved to the reception area, and I saw Ryan disappear toward the parking lot. I knew what he was doing before he even came back. He'd left his jacket at the table but had a small black case in his hand now, the kind musicians carry cables in. I leaned toward security. Checked the bag. They stopped him right there, opened it. Wireless mic set. Cheap model, easy to connect to open systems. Ryan argued with security for a minute, waving his arms. "I'm part of the wedding party," he snapped. "No," one guard said calmly. "You're a guest. Sit down or leave." Ryan sat, fuming. We got through the first dance, the speeches, the toasts. Everything smooth, on schedule. Then, right as the cake was about to be cut, Ryan stood up. He didn't have a mic, but he started shouting loud enough for people to turn. "Can I just say something real quick?" I didn't even look at him. I said one word. "Raccoon." 2 security guys were on him instantly. One at each arm, walking him toward the gate before he got another sentence out. People gasped. A few laughed nervously, but the guards didn't stop. They walked him straight off the property while he yelled about how unfair this was, how he just wanted to share his moment. The coordinator told the DJ to start the next song like nothing happened. Jess squeezed my hand under the table. I didn't even bother watching Ryan get dragged out. 10 minutes later, one of the guards came over and told me Ryan was in the parking lot yelling at staff. Someone across the street had their phone out recording him losing his mind next to his car. I signed the incident report for the venue and went back to cutting the cake. The video hit Facebook that afternoon. Ryan screaming in a suit, getting in a guard's face, tripping over the curb while people in the background told him to go home. He didn't look like a romantic hero. He looked like a guy getting kicked out of a bar before sunset. Grandma cornered me before she left. "You didn't have to humiliate him," she snapped. I looked at her. "He did that all by himself. He just wanted his chance." "So did I said. "That's why I didn't give it away." She didn't have much to say after that. By the end of the night, everything went back to normal wedding mode. People danced, laughed, ate cake. Jess and I got in the getaway car under the sparklers while the DJ played our song. Ryan wasn't there to see it. Neither was Grandma. And it was perfect that way. The next day, I started getting messages from family who'd seen the video online. Some thought it was hilarious. Some thought it was sad. A few said Ryan needed help. He didn't message me at all. But Mom told me he showed up at Grandma's house ranting about how he was done with this family. Grandma promised she'd fix things. Yeah, sure she would. The following morning, Ryan showed up at my parents' house. Dad told me later that Ryan barged in, demanding they call the venue to complain, demanding they do something about me, demanding Mom tell the rest of the family the whole thing was my fault. Dad finally snapped, told him, "You embarrassed yourself. You had warning. You had rules. You broke them. Don't come here blaming anyone else." Ryan didn't like that answer. He told Dad he was moving back in because Grandma's house was too stressful. Dad looked him dead in the eye and said, "No, you're not. You want to live here again? You pay rent. Real rent. You pay utilities. You pay for food. And you respect the rules. Otherwise, the answer's no." Ryan thought he was bluffing. He wasn't. 2 days later, the venue called me about damages. Not big ones, just cleanup from when Ryan threw a fit in the parking lot and knocked over 2 decorative planters before leaving. They sent me the report with a bill attached for replacement costs and extra staff hours. I forwarded it straight to Ryan with one line: "This is your mess. Pay it." He didn't respond, so I filed in small claims court. Simple case: his tantrum, his damages, his responsibility. I attached the venue's report, the video of him knocking the planters, and the security incident sheet. A week later, the court date got set. Meanwhile, the video was still circulating online. Some relative posted it on Facebook before taking it down, but not before it got saved and passed around. People in the comments weren't kind. Words like entitled, man-child, and needs therapy came up a lot. Apparently someone at Ryan's job saw it too. He ended up missing work the Monday after the wedding. Told them he was dealing with a personal crisis. HR didn't care. They wrote him up for no showing without notice. I didn't feel bad. Grandma tried calling me 3 times that week. I didn't answer. She left one voicemail about how family needs to stick together and how I shouldn't have involved the police. For the record, nobody called the police. Security escorted him out. He screamed at staff in the parking lot, and they told him to leave or they would call. That was it. But Grandma had her own version of reality where Ryan was the victim of some grand conspiracy. 2 days before the court date, Mom called again. She sounded tired. Said Ryan had shown up at their house demanding they pay the damages so the family wouldn't be embarrassed. Dad told him no again. Told him he was 30 years old, needed to handle his own problems, and if he didn't like it, he could stop coming around altogether. Ryan apparently just stood there, stunned. Like it never occurred to him Mom and Dad could actually say no. That was when it finally hit me. Ryan wasn't used to consequences. Not real ones. Grandma always bailed him out. Mom and Dad always caved. And now, with everyone done enabling him, he was drowning. The court date came fast. Ryan showed up looking like he hadn't slept. He tried telling the judge it was all a misunderstanding, that he didn't mean to break anything, that it was family drama and should be handled privately. The judge looked at the video, the photos, the venue's invoice, the security report, then at Ryan. "Sir," she said, "you're responsible for the damages. Pay the venue within 30 days. Case closed." I didn't smile, just thanked the judge, and left. That night, Mom called again. Told me Dad had officially told Ryan he couldn't move back in. No more cheap rent. No more free food. No more laundry service from Mom while he lounged around playing video games like he was still in college. Ryan apparently went to Grandma's house after that and started yelling about how the whole family turned on him because of Lucas. Grandma called Mom later crying about how unfair it all was. How Ryan just needed support. Mom told her, "He's had support for 30 years. Look what it got him." By the end of the week, Ryan stopped calling me. Stopped calling Mom and Dad too. Last I heard, he was crashing at Grandma's place full time, sulking in the basement like a teenager, while she complained to anyone who'd listen about how cruel everyone was to her perfect grandson. Didn't bother me. The wedding was over. Jessica and I were happy. The venue got their money. Mom and Dad were finally cutting the cord. Ryan wanted a scene. He got one. Ryan pretty much vanished into Grandma's basement. He wasn't talking to Mom and Dad. He wasn't calling me. He spent most of his time posting vague quotes online about family betrayal, like he was the main character in a soap opera nobody was watching. But here's the thing about living off Grandma. It doesn't last forever. She started complaining about him almost immediately. He ate her food, left dishes everywhere, didn't help with anything around the house, stayed up late playing video games on her Wi-Fi. At first, she defended him. Of course she did. But after a few weeks, even she was running out of excuses. Then came the night she called Mom crying because Ryan told her to chill when she asked him to take the trash out. Mom told her flat out, "You let him move in. You handle it." That didn't go over well. The real breaking point came when Grandma got a letter from the city about unpaid property taxes. She called Mom screaming that she couldn't keep up. that everything was falling apart, that nobody was helping her. Mom finally said what she should have said years ago. Sell the house or rent the rooms. Lucas helps us because we let him. You chose to let Ryan mooch off you. That's on you. Grandma cried. Ryan promised he'd start paying soon. Neither of them did anything. 2 weeks later, Grandma called Mom again. This time sobbing so hard she could barely talk. Ryan had told her he was moving out because she was too much drama, packed his stuff and left her there with overdue bills and an empty basement. She was stunned. 30 years of babying him, and he left the second money came up. Later that week, Ryan showed up at my house uninvited, knocking like he owned the place. I opened the door. He marched in without waiting. "You think you're better than me now, huh?" he snapped. I leaned against the wall, arms crossed. "Better? Ryan, I've been better than you since high school. You're just noticing late." His face went red. "You humiliated me at the wedding. You turned Mom and Dad against me. You made Grandma cry. None of this would have happened if you weren't such a selfish jerk." "Right," I said, nodding slowly. "It's my fault you tried to hijack my wedding, stole Mom's ring, got kicked out by security, broke planters, got sued, and made yourself internet famous as parking lot meltdown guy. Totally on me." He pointed a finger at me. "You think you're some big man now just because you pay your bills?" I smirked. "Well, someone has to. You treat rent like it's optional." Ryan started pacing like a cornered animal. "I just needed one good moment. One thing for myself. But no, you had to ruin it like you ruin everything." I couldn't help laughing. "Ruin everything? Ryan, you ruin things by existing near them. You're a one-man demolition crew with a credit score." "Shut up!" he shouted. "Make me," I said calmly. He froze like he wasn't expecting me to push back. I stepped closer. "You want to know why everyone's done with you? It's not because of me. It's because you're 30 years old, still blaming the world for your problems, and the only plan you ever have involves someone else paying for it." Ryan sputtered. "That's not true." "Really? Whose couch are you on right now?" He opened his mouth, closed it again. "Exactly," I said. "You've had everything handed to you since we were kids. Car at 16, college paid for, rent covered. Grandma treated you like royalty, and you paid her back by using her house as a free hotel until even she got sick of you." His jaw tightened. "So here's the deal," I said. "You can stand here screaming about how unfair life is, or you can grow up, pay your bills, and stop acting like the world owes you center stage at every event. Because newsflash, Ryan," I leaned in just enough to make him flinch, "nobody's clapping for you anymore." He didn't have a comeback. I opened the door and gestured outside. "Now leave before you add breaking and entering to your highlight reel." He stood there breathing hard for a second, then stomped out without another word. I shut the door behind him. Didn't watch him go, because for the first time, Ryan actually looked like he'd heard the truth. As for Grandma, she ended up having to rent 2 rooms in her house just to keep up with taxes and utilities. Total strangers living there now. She told Mom it was the worst thing that ever happened to her. Mom told her, no, the worst thing was letting Ryan think the world revolved around him. For once, I agreed with Mom. Months passed. Jessica and I went on our honeymoon, came back, started settling into normal married life. Ryan kept quiet. Grandma stopped calling. Then one evening, Mom and Dad came over for dinner. Out of nowhere, Dad said, "We want to apologize. For everything. For the college money, for the favoritism, for letting Ryan walk all over us and you." I nodded. "Took you long enough." Dad didn't argue. He just said, "We're proud of you. You handled all this better than we did." Maybe that was the closest I'd get to an, "I'm sorry." I'd take it. The last update I got on Ryan came from Mom. Apparently, he tried proposing to Ashley, the same girl who dumped him months ago, by showing up at her job with flowers. She turned him down in front of her coworkers. He left before security made him. Even Grandma couldn't defend that one. By the end of the year, Ryan was paying full rent somewhere else. Grandma had renters in her house. Mom and Dad were financially stable, and Jessica and I were expecting our first kid. The family group chat used to be constant drama. Now it's pictures of ultrasound scans and baby name ideas. Ryan hasn't said a word in months. Grandma still sends the occasional message about how she doesn't understand how things got this bad. I never reply. The last time Dad and I talked about it, he said, "You know, if we'd set rules years ago, none of this would have happened." "Yeah," I said, but then he wouldn't have learned anything now. Because here's the truth. Ryan finally had to live like an adult. Pay bills. Face consequences. Hear no for once in his life. And Grandma? She ended up alone in a house full of strangers, because the grandson she worshipped only stuck around when she paid for everything. As for me, Married to the right woman, kid on the way, family drama finally off my back. The wedding was ours. The life after it was ours. Ryan wanted the spotlight. Now he can keep it, all to himself.